Greetings, Twitter, X. How are y'all doing today? Um, just wanted to go live. As y'all probably heard the news earlier today, Ron DeSantis officially suspended, his campaign. It is surprising and it is concerning. Um, this recent turn of events. Um, because honestly, the results of the Iowa caucuses was not what it was meant to be, or not all cracked up to be. Um, as you know, um, Trump won by half the margin, I supposedly, and I'll say supposedly, and for one reason, and I'll explain momentarily. He got the amount of votes that he got was basically a combination of what both um, DeSantis and um, Nikki Haley, I think it was, got, in the same caucus. Now, the thing is this, and this is what makes this whole thing concerning. Number one, um, when the results were being announced for the Iowa caucus, people were saying, "Oh, Trump won by a huge margin." The turnout was the margin of turnout was massive. In all honesty, it really wasn't. If you think about it, I mean, from what I've read, there's 753,000 registered GOP voters, and this is not counting Democrats because obviously this was all Republican. So you have 753,000 registered voters. Of those 753,000, only approximately about 60 to 65,000 came out to vote. That's not even 15% of the voter registration base. 15%, 1-5. You heard me correctly. Given the 85% margin of uncertainty as to, if they would have all turned out how the results would have been, it's kind of premature to say that Trump won by a huge margin. You have 650,000 voters that did not show up or did not participate in the caucus. I mean, out of those 650,000, I mean, it could have gone any way. It could have gone in favor of DeSantis. Could have gone in favor of Vivek Ramaswamy. It could have gone in favor of Nikki Haley. The fact of the matter is that only a minuscule percentage of the registered voter database, even showed up because of the cold weather. And I found it kind of concerning, number one, when Vivek Ramaswamy suspended his campaign, so soon after the Iowa caucuses. I think the decision was not thought out. I mean, there's still a good chance he could have, in New Hampshire or another state, garnered enough votes to beat the other candidates. Same can be said with Ron DeSantis, who suspended his campaign earlier today. I also find it premature because as I said, we haven't even had the New Hampshire primaries, and I'm at a loss to understand why they're doing this. Other than, and I was thinking about this right now as I was getting ready to go live. The only possible scenarios that I can come up with for why this is occurring is that, number one, these candidates want to make sure one of the two, either Haley or Trump, comes out the leader and not the other. I would think to believe, given the animosity between I think it's Vivek and Haley that Vivek is wanting DeSantis to win against Trump. Ergo, the reason that because this is where it gets all confusing, because both these candidates, DeSantis and Ramaswamy, both endorsed Trump. Why would they do that? Maybe, just maybe, they're trying to piss off their followers, so that they get angry enough that they vote against Trump, and that Nikki Haley would beat Trump in New Hampshire. That's the most likely scenario that I would believe to occur, is that they're doing this to get Nikki Haley ahead in the primary. Now, here's the thing. By suspending their campaigns, they're no longer in the run in any of the primaries. Number one. Number two, on the opposite chance that Trump does win New Hampshire, I mean, Nikki Haley is going to have to be in this thing for the long haul, regardless, because of the fact that there will be an offset chance, however remote or however certain or uncertain it is, that Trump along the way, one of those indictments is gonna come back to bite him, and he's gonna end up being convicted. If he is convicted and sentenced before the general election, he cannot be the candidate, for the Republican Party. I mean, I don't see that happening. So, if that were the case, and let's say, for sake of argument, that after New Hampshire, Nikki Haley decides and she loses and she decides to drop out. That leaves only Donald Trump. If he gets convicted and is unable to run in the general election, this would be historically the most disastrous thing that could occur to the Republican Party, because they would not have a nominee to run against Joe Biden. And I think just maybe that could be the precept, or could be the idea behind what's been going on right now, because I find it concerning. I find it strange for these two candidates, DeSantis and Ramaswamy, to suspend so quickly. Something about this does not feel right to me. Now, I want to say at one time I was conservative. I am more impartial and nonpartisan now. But looking at what's going on with the Conservative Party right now, election-wise, something does not feel right to me, and that's because you've got all these candidates dropping out left and right. You had Chris Christie, you had Ramaswamy, you have DeSantis, Hutchinson. They've all dropped out on or before or right immediately after the Iowa caucus. Why? Ask yourself, what is the common denominator or the common factor for these people to drop out? Do they actually believe that Donald Trump stands a good chance to win? Or are they just trying to undermine the Conservative Party to the point that if Trump is convicted, there's no nominee, and Biden and the Democrats win the election? I mean, it is really difficult to understand what's going on, and I ask myself that question. That's why I'm throwing this out here right now, because I mean, maybe somebody else watching this or ends up watching this has a better notion of what's going on, because everything, if you note, and this is another thing too that's really got me kind of perplexed, is that everything with respect to the primaries, as far as the candidates are concerned, has been hush hush. Why? What is the secret that is being kept between all these candidates, these nominees? I don't understand. It's another thing. Also, it's well known that whoever wins the Iowa caucus is usually not the one that wins the election or wins the Republican nomination. So why are they all dropping their campaign so suddenly and endorsing a candidate, such as Donald Trump, with the situation that he's got going on? I don't understand. I mean, other than they're trying to unify to defeat Trump in New Hampshire by making their fan base vote for Nikki Haley. I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. All we can do now is wait and see whether or not Nikki Haley wins in New Hampshire. Because if she does, that really may turn things around. As far as the election as far as primaries go, we'll have to wait and see how this turns out. I honestly don't know. Well, I wanted to get all this out because was concerning to me, kind of made me ask questions and whatnot. And I figured if I throw it out on X, maybe somebody gets a hold of this live stream and they can comment and or do their own comments, hashtag me or whatever the case may be, and maybe give us a better idea, a much better clarity as to what's going on, because this whole thing with these candidates there's something, as I said, there's something that's not right, and I can't put my finger on it. Something is off, and for the life of me, I can't figure it out. Feel free to post a comment and tell me what you think. Tell me what your assumption is. Maybe somebody out there knows something more than I do. I don't know, but I mean, I've gone by statistics and facts, and those statistics and facts it makes the results thus far so uncertain that, I mean, it's hard to even tell what direction these elections are going at this point. It's too early to tell. Well, thank you. I'll come back live on in just a bit because I do want to talk about another topic, but I'm gonna prepare it real quick and then I'll come back live and we'll talk about that as well. In the meantime, have a nice break. Have a good afternoon, and see you.